at worldtimeserver.com. This is a website. It's similar to World Time Zone Converter, but it also offers time tools that you could think of, such as apps to use on your website or your computer. If you want to have world times on your website, then you can use this website to come up with the code to do that. As well as converting time, when you're out there, you might need to convert weights, measures and distances as well. Apparently, the metric system is used almost worldwide, and there's only 3 countries that don't use it: Myanmar, USA and Liberia. But there are still some travellers that use other ways to measure or weigh something, and clothing can be especially difficult to work out. I mean, do you need a shoe size 10, 44 or 10.5? I'm still a feet and inches guy myself, so I need to convert that into metric. So just like time, you can use search engines. In the search box, you can type something like convert 874 kilometres to miles, and you get the answer. Google, you can also put 1.59 space euros /litre to dollars /gallon, and that gives you a response similar to 1.59 euros per litre equals 10.38 and a long number US dollars per gallon. Very useful. So there's a basic distance website chart available at angelfire.com, very basic. Indu is a website for Bali and Indonesia. It has a distance converter and a currency converter. It doesn't cover everywhere, but it may be useful when you're travelling across the USA. And that's indo.com. Johnny Jet, and it has links to various tools and information providers. It's a very useful one-stop website. The clothing chart also includes Japanese sizes if you're going over to Japan. O&A has links to convert shoe sizes, volumes and temperatures, and that's at oanda.com. On Johnny Jet is johnnyjet.com. And finally, onlineconversion.com is a website that converts the size for you. So you just put in what you need to know and it converts it for you. It's still quite complicated, and if you're overseas, you may not have data with you on your phone because you don't want to pay for the roaming. But before you go away, you can use these websites to make your own little chart, your own little notebook with the various sizes, so you know how to quickly convert when you go shopping, so you don't come all the way home and find out that nothing fits. If you made a mistake when you've been buying something overseas in clothing, please do share your story. Facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. You can keep up to date with travel news and leave me a message at Facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Converting money is just as important as making sure you get the right dress size, and there's many websites that can help you with that as well. Of course, there are some websites that offer a currency converter just as a feature of the overall site, and some just show the current rate, where others will work out the conversion rate for specific amounts. And some sites are more up to date than others. But the worst case scenario when you look at a website should be yesterday's rates. Well, most of the others will be in the last 30 minutes or so. It can also be possible to find historical data, and search engines will also calculate rates for specific amounts by entering the requirements in the search box, such as in the search box you put convert 150 USD, which is US dollars, to sterling, which is pounds, and it gives you when I did this ages ago, 150 US dollars equals 89.28 British pounds. But that's well out of date now. So I'm going to go through one or two websites for you now. The first one is FX Converter. And this is not fxconverter.com, but it's oanda.com /currency/travel-exchange-rates. And this site offers a wealth of information, including historical data and a cheat sheet, which is a table of some conversions between two major currencies, so you have a rough guide to hand. Universal Currency Converter, which is at xe.com. It's similar to FX Converter, apart from having a much easier URL. This site also has historical data and an easy-to-use calculator. Just type in the amount and select the two currencies using the drop-down menu and click on Go. It also helps you to keep check on your travel expenses with an online form that calculates how much in your own currency you have spent, or if you're travelling for work, how much you can claim back for from your business. Moving away from websites now, cash and ATMs. In the past, you'd have to visit your bank or a currency exchange to obtain local currency for the countries you're visiting. Now, practically wherever you land, you will probably be able to use your bank or credit card to obtain currency by using an ATM, or cash point if you like using the trade name. If you go to various websites, you can find out where these ATMs are. At mastercard.us, you can find the ATMs in over 210 countries if you're using a MasterCard. You can filter results to include only those which are surcharge-free, wheelchair-friendly, drive-through, or open 24 hours. And there's also an iPhone app you can use to find an ATM when you're on the move. With Visa, at visa.com, visaeurope.com, there are over 1 million ATMs throughout the world, and this website will help you find the nearest to you, or your chosen destination. Again, you search with the aid of a drop-down menu, and the advanced search option is handy if you're unsure how to spell the town or city, or pronounce it in most of my cases. If you're having a crisis and you need money fast, then you're in luck. It's now a lot easier for your family and friends to send you some extra cash by a money transfer. The person helps you, takes the money into an agent in the UK, and you go into the local office with your ID and draw the cash. This isn't cheap, but if you haven't got your own cards, then it's probably the only way you're going to get cash quickly. So if you've been robbed or something and you need some money, then you can do a money transfer. There's a couple of ways of doing it. The first one is MoneyGram, postoffice.co.uk/MoneyGram-cash-transfers. It's probably the easiest way for your help in the UK, as they can use any post office branch. MoneyGram agents are now in over 250,000 locations in 192 countries and territories worldwide. So that could be the one for you. And there's also the other well-known one, which is westernunion.co.uk. It's probably the one everybody heard of, and it's one that everybody thinks of when moving money around the world. You can set up a transfer even online, or you can go to an agent's office or shop, and there's more than 400,000 locations worldwide where you can do the transfer. If you've had to get money in a hurry, I don't need to know the details about what happened to you, but if you can share your experience about how easy or how difficult it was to get hold of the cash, then please let us know at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Staying with money at the minute, I was going to talk about tipping. When abroad, the British start to do something they don't do at home, and that's leave tips. But how much should you leave, and what would it be appropriate? It's not as though tipping is an everyday occurrence in the UK. Can you remember the last time you tipped? Or maybe you did at a restaurant, but I don't know. Probably not at McDonald's. So this can be quite stressful for some people who just don't know what to do. Of course, you could just visit other countries where tipping is also not the norm. Not tipping is also the norm. But it does restrict the places you can visit to. And some tips are more voluntary than others. In my opinion, tipping is a hidden cost to a cruise, as you are ultimately charged a set amount to tip people working on the cruise ship. And I think that's unfair. Also, if you're on a driving holiday, you may have heard about children offering to guard a car for a small fee. And if you don't pay them, who knows what's going to happen. So if you're going to tip, always get low denomination notes when you change your money. Keep this tips cash separate. After all, after a long flight, it is too easy to give $100 instead of a $1 bill. Also, leave a small gift for your cleaner every day. That way, you'll always ensure that they get a tip because they do switch. And when they switch, the person might have only been cleaning your room for one day and they're going to get 2 weeks' worth of tips. And say the cleaner might be on your day off, on their day off when you go. And the tipping custom for your chosen destination can be found from various websites such as Wikipedia. One page on this famous mine of information, and the page is, let's see if I can get this right, it's wikipedia.org/wiki/gratuity. And it doesn't cover everywhere, but you can edit it if you feel that something is wrong, or if you have knowledge of tipping in a country that has yet to be covered, but there's a lot of tipping information there anyway. And there's the original tipping page, which is tipping.org, and this site has links to other websites with information on tipping. Unfortunately, not all of the links even, got to put my teeth in and have a glass of water, are still working. However, there is a working tip to a website that names and shames lists bad tippers. So if you go somewhere expecting a tip, and you don't, you could find yourself on this particular website. Which might be happened to me, because when I went to Las Vegas for a friend's wedding, I handed over the tip, which was from all of us, but they thought the tip was from just me, and they were very unhappy with the amount, which we thought was reasonable between us. But say they were unhappy, they felt we should be 4 times as large, and it did create a bit of friction, and you never know, our picture could be on this website as bad tippers. How do you feel about tipping, especially on cruise ships? Do you feel that you're being bullied into giving the money away? Do you think people deserve it? Are you concerned that people take it away? I mean, I tipped somebody in Kenya once, and then I was told that the manager takes the tips and keeps them, and the person I tipped doesn't get it, which made me extremely angry. But what do you feel about tipping? Please do share your thoughts at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Checking it out before you check in on the John Guinn Travel Show on ukhealthradio.com. Maybe you've seen the rom-com film The Holiday. If you haven't, it's a film where 2 women with guy problems swap homes in each other's countries, where they meet a local guy and they fall in love. Now, I can't guarantee that you would meet someone and fall in love, but you can save a lot of money on holiday if you swap homes with someone. All you need to do is register your home on a website. Now, some websites offer this service for free, while others charge. It will make life easier for you if you swap with somebody with a similar family situation, of course. I mean, if you've got a bachelor pad, you might not want a family with 2 or 3 kids running around it. And an article in the Daily Telegraph once predicted that 1.6 million people would be swapping homes to save money on the cost of a holiday. There's also an option of a more basic type of home exchange. This is where you put up with another member of the group you're a member of as a house guest. There are 2 types: hospitality exchange, where you take it in turns to be the host and the house guest, or couch surfing, where there's no requirement for you to return the favour. But do realise that couch surfing is just a term. You may actually be staying in a bed in a spare bedroom. And yet another alternative, and I've had people on the show talking about this, is house sitting. This is where you look after somebody else's home while they're away, which will hopefully prevent a burglary or just looking after pets. In some cases, you can even get paid a nominal amount while you're doing it. However, you may be responsible for any utility bills while you're doing it. Before you book anything or give your home out, you should always make use of any review systems that the website may offer before agreeing to anything. Choose a host who's a long-term member with positive feedback, and do check that your home insurance will allow you to do this to be on the safe side. Now, I'm going to be going through some websites now, but I'm not going to go through all the web addresses because there's too many and it's going to sound really complicated. But there will be a link to a page on facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show where you can find all these websites. So, of course, the first one is Airbnb. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's a community marketplace for people to list and book unique accommodations around the world. It can be an apartment for a night or a villa for a month, and they do claim to be in over 192 countries. Website called Couchsurfing. A lot of thought went behind that one. You can bypass the typical hotel experience by staying at a home with a local and learn about their culture. It's a great way to learn about their culture because you're not stuck in a hotel that could be anywhere in the world once you get in your room. Guinn, that's a website, offers free membership, but it does have a cover scheme for a fee. Global Freeloaders, which is an online community to offer you free accommodation all over the world, so you save money and you get to see the world from a local's perspective. Homelink, which was established in 1953, believe it or not, and has helped like-minded families exchange homes all around the world. It is the largest UK-based home exchange organisation, but there is an annual fee. Home Exchange offers you the chance to swap your home or your hospitality with members from over 100 countries. This is where you host a stranger in your house and then they try to return the favour, but there is a monthly fee for this one. House Carers, which is a worldwide house-sitting directory based in Newcastle, Australia. They'll be matching homeowners with house sitters even for over 10 years. The Hospitality Club, and the aim of the club is to bring people together, hosts and guests, travellers and locals. Members help each other when they are travelling, be it with a roof